Before we begin, let me introduce myself. They call me the Eye. I am not here to entertain you with cheap horror stories. I am here to observe, to dissect, to guide you through the darkest corners of real events, the places where truth is more disturbing than fiction. I don't deal in rumors. I don't chase ghosts. I examine what people fear to look at directly. In this space, we explore the macabre not for shock, but for understanding. Because behind every chilling headline, every disturbing piece of footage, there is something far more unsettling than the supernatural. There is the human mind. So if you're ready, stay with me. Look closely, and don't blink. Tonight, we open the file on Elisa Lam. February 2013. A young woman steps into an elevator in downtown Los Angeles. What happens in the next few minutes will haunt the internet for years. She looks nervous. She presses multiple buttons. She hides in the corner. She peeks into the hallway as if someone is standing just outside the door. She makes strange, almost frantic hand gestures at empty space. The elevator doors refuse to close. Days later, her body is found inside a rooftop water tank. This is the story of Elisa Lam, and the uncomfortable reality behind one of the internet's most disturbing mysteries. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada. She was intelligent, creative, and active online. On her Tumblr blog, she wrote openly about loneliness, identity, and her struggles with mental health. In early 2013, she decided to take a solo trip to California. It was supposed to be an adventure, a reset, a young woman exploring the world on her own. She checked into the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. The building already carried a dark reputation. Over the decades, it had been linked to suicides, violent crimes, and long-term residents living on the margins of society. In the 1980s, even serial killer Richard Ramirez stayed there during his murder spree. The hotel had history, and not the kind that makes you feel safe. On January 31st, Elisa disappeared. Her roommates reported unusual behavior in the days before she vanished. Soon after, she was moved to a private room. Then she stopped contacting her family. No calls, no messages, nothing. 2 weeks later, the Los Angeles Police Department released elevator surveillance footage in hopes that the public could help identify what happened. The video spread across the internet like wildfire. In the footage, Elisa steps into the elevator. She presses several buttons at once. She waits. The doors don't close. She leans forward and peers into the hallway. She quickly steps back inside, flattening herself against the wall as if hiding from someone. She repeats the motion, looking left and right outside the elevator. No one appears in the frame. Then come the hand movements. She steps outside the elevator briefly and gestures in odd, fluid motions, as if she is speaking to someone just out of view. Her hands move in ways that seem disconnected from any visible person. She returns inside. Eventually, the doors finally close. There is no visible attacker, no shadow. No clear explanation. The footage feels like something out of a horror film. And that's exactly why the internet couldn't let it go. Then came another disturbing development. Hotel guests began complaining about the water. The pressure was low. The color looked dark. Some said it tasted strange. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tanks. Inside one of them, they found Elisa Lam's body. She was submerged in the water that had been circulating through the hotel. There were no clear signs of physical trauma. No evidence of assault. The lid of the tank was heavy, but it was not locked. Access to the roof was possible through a fire escape and alarm door. The reports later suggested the alarm may not have been functioning properly. The questions multiplied. How did she get to the roof unnoticed? How did she climb into the tank? Why was the elevator behaving strangely in the footage? Was someone editing the video? Was someone hiding just outside the camera's view? Online forums exploded with theories. Some believed she was murdered and the hotel covered it up. Others claimed a staff member was involved. Some pointed to the building's violent history as if it were cursed. There were even supernatural explanations. Dark rituals, invisible entities, alternate dimensions. But the autopsy told a different story. Elisa Lam had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She had a documented history of severe depressive and manic episodes. Toxicology reports showed traces of her prescribed medications, but the levels suggested she may not have been taking them consistently. In bipolar disorder, especially during a manic or psychotic episode, reality can distort in terrifying ways. A person may feel intense paranoia. They may believe they are being followed, watched, threatened. They may act impulsively, without understanding the danger around them. Their perception of risk collapses. The elevator footage, when viewed through that lens, changes. Pressing multiple buttons could indicate panic. Hiding in the corner could signal perceived pursuit. The hand gestures could be responses to hallucinations or disorganized thoughts. The delay in the elevator doors closing was later explained by the door hold function being activated when multiple buttons are pressed in certain sequences. If Elisa was experiencing a severe episode, she may have believed she was escaping something. She could have taken the stairs or fire escape to the roof. In a state of confusion and fear, climbing into a water tank might not have seemed dangerous or even strange in that moment. Once inside, the smooth metal walls and height of the tank would have made it nearly impossible to climb out without assistance. The official ruling was accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor. No confirmed evidence of homicide. No confirmed conspiracy. And yet, people still resist that conclusion, because it feels too ordinary. We prefer monsters in the hallway, secret killers in the shadows, hidden hands manipulating events behind the scenes. A tragic mental health crisis is less cinematic, less satisfying, more uncomfortable. The truth is, the human mind can create horrors far more convincing than any ghost story. When perception fractures, the world itself can become the threat. The Elisa Lam case was not a supernatural mystery. It was not a ritual. It was not a perfectly executed murder hidden in plain sight. It was a young woman, alone in a city far from home, possibly losing her grip on reality at the worst possible moment. And sometimes, the most disturbing explanation is the simplest one. Because there was no monster in that elevator. Only a mind fighting something no one else could see. The case of Elisa Lam remains unsettling not because it proves the existence of something supernatural, but because it reminds us how fragile the human mind can be. There were no demons in the hallway, no confirmed killer hiding in the shadows, just a young woman, far from home, possibly trapped inside a reality that was breaking apart around her. And sometimes, that is far more disturbing. If this story made you think, if it made you question what is real and what is imagined, then you're beginning to see what I see. Now I want to hear from you. Have you experienced something you still can't explain? A moment that didn't make sense? A story that still lingers in the back of your mind? Share it in the comments. If you want your story to be explored here, analyzed, examined, and brought into the light, send it to the channel. The eye is always watching, and always searching for the next file to open. Subscribe if you're ready to keep looking into the darker side of reality. Until our next investigation, keep your eyes open, and don't look away.